All right, so let's jump right into one of the most incredible books ever written. And get this, it was written in a prison cell. We're talking about Boethius's The Consolation of Philosophy, and it's this really deep look at happiness coming from a guy who had literally lost it all.
Okay, so picture this. It's the year 524. A man named Boethius is, well, he's basically on top of the world. He's a brilliant scholar, a big-shot statesman, consul of Rome. I mean, this guy had everything you could possibly want. But then, in a flash, it all came crashing down. His entire world just got turned completely upside down.
So what happened? Well, he gets accused of treason, and get this, by the very people he'd spent his life trying to protect. Just like that, they strip him of everything, his titles, his money, his freedom. He's thrown into a prison in the middle of nowhere, just waiting to be executed. And it's right there, in that moment of absolute rock bottom, that he picks up a pen and starts to write. And this whole situation, this incredible fall from grace, it really sets up a huge, timeless question, right? I mean, how do you find any meaning, let alone happiness, when everything you thought defined you is just gone? For Boethius, well, an answer was on its way. And that answer shows up, but not in the way you'd expect. So there's Boethius just sitting in his cell, totally lost in despair, writing these sad little poems. And then suddenly he gets a visitor. It's this incredible, majestic woman, you know, the kind with this intense look in her eyes, like she knows everything. And she's just standing right there over him.
Now, she sees these muses of poetry hovering around him, whispering these sad verses to try and make him feel better. And let me tell you, she is not having it. She just glares at them, and you can tell she's about to step in and take charge.
Yeah, this is no ordinary guest. This is Lady Philosophy herself, and she has zero patience for a pity party. She basically shoos the muses away, calling their brand of comfort a sweet poison. What she means is, they just make you feel okay with being sad, instead of actually fixing the problem. So Philosophy sits down and pretty much gives Boethius a diagnosis. She tells him, look, your problem isn't just that you're sad. It's more like you have spiritual amnesia. He's sick because he's forgotten who he really is, deep down. He's forgotten what the real source of happiness is, the kind that can't be taken away. So, the diagnosis is in spiritual amnesia. And the first step of the cure? She says they have to go after the root of a problem, this toxic relationship he has with the idea of fortune. And this is where it gets really cool. Philosophy paints this picture of fortune, not as some nice thing, but as a monster. She's this blind, totally unpredictable goddess spinning a giant wheel. Sometimes you're at the top, sometimes you're at the bottom. And that's her whole deal, constant change. The point is, she was never your friend, not ever.
And then Philosophy does this amazing thing. She starts speaking as fortune, and she basically tells Boethius, why are you complaining to me? You knew the rules of my game. You knew I was treacherous when you took my gifts. She says all that stuff he lost, the money, the power, the fame, it was never really his to begin with. It was always mine, and I was just letting you borrow it.
Okay, so after she totally exposes fortune for the monster she is, Philosophy moves on to the next stage of the treatment. She's about to break down all those so-called gifts that Boethius is so upset about losing, and show him why they were a trap from the very beginning.
Her argument is pretty simple. She says that deep down, every single one of us is searching for true happiness, for the real good. But, we get distracted, we make mistakes, and we end up chasing after these fake versions of happiness, these little pieces of it, thinking they're the whole package.
And here's the kicker, the essential trap she lays out. Each one of these false goods promises you something, but it delivers the exact opposite. Think about it. You chase money to feel secure, but all you get is anxiety about losing it. You chase power to feel safe, but you end up living in constant fear of who's coming for your spot. You chase fame for glory, and you find out it's totally empty.
So here's the bottom line. True happiness, she says, is one single, complete thing. It's a whole. It's not a bunch of different pieces you can collect. So when we're out there chasing these fragments, a bit of money here, a little power there, we're always going to end up empty-handed. We're trying to grab a piece of something that can't be broken up.
All right, once he understands that we're all just chasing broken pieces, it sets the stage for what is maybe Philosophy's most mind-bending argument. Seriously, get ready for this, because she's about to flip our whole idea of good luck and bad luck on its head.
She hits Boethius with this incredible paradox. She tells him that this horrible, terrible luck he's going through right now is actually better for him than all the good fortune he ever had. I know, it sounds crazy, right?
So how on earth does that work? Well, here's her logic. Good fortune, she says, is a liar. It tricks you. It makes you believe that all this temporary external stuff is what happiness is made of. But bad fortune? Bad fortune tells the truth. It's a harsh teacher for sure, but it shows you just how flimsy all that stuff really is.
And here's one of the biggest silver linings of bad luck. It shows you who your real friends are. When things are going great, everyone wants to be around. But when fortune walks out on you, she takes all the fakers with her. The people who are left, those are your real friends. And that, she says, is the most valuable thing you can have.
So what's the ultimate answer? The final consolation? Philosophy reveals that true happiness, the real deal, is the supreme good. And that supreme good is God. It's not something outside of you, it's an internal state, something you possess within yourself that the crazy wheel of fortune can't ever touch.
So the big takeaway here is that what we call bad fortune isn't really a punishment at all. It's more like a course correction. It's a tough teacher, but its job is to shake us and force us to look away from all the fragile external stuff we can lose and to turn our gaze inward toward the only kind of happiness that's actually permanent. And that's the powerful question this 1,500-year-old book leaves us with today. It's a challenge, really. It asks us to look at the challenges in our own lives, and instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" to maybe ask a different question. What is my fortune trying to teach me?